family. What's going on out? I'm Nemesis, and I've got my home dog over here, Crypto McKell, and we have a special guest with us, guys. So, my man, Crypto Mining, go ahead and tell us about yourself.
I just had YouTube open on my other computer.
I heard that's where you heard me kind of pause. I'm like, I just heard it. It's like, oh, it's not mine, right?
I looked at me and I was like, that wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me. Not this time.
Right. We take turns on when we're gonna,
every now and then.
Every now and then.
Take turns, see who's gonna drop it, who's gonna drop the bomb.
So go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody here, and tell us a little bit about your background.
All right. Well, Crypto Mining YouTube channel. I started out mining probably like maybe 5 years ago, somewhere around there. Started out GPU mining from like my garage, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, I'll just run like one rig on my garage. So I was doing that for like the Radeon 7900s.
It looks like my internet is all janky. Let me know, guys, if the internet's really janky right now.
You're lagging to me.
Huh?
I'm seeing your picture lag a little bit. But
yeah, I'm like watching it go all weird. Let me make sure I got.
I blame. What is this? Who owns Zoom?
probably Microsoft. To be honest, they probably are the ones that own it. Air. My YouTube got it. Play back here.
See if it's gonna do it. It looks like it's holding stable now. I just reconnected in with OBS. Oh. Spoke too soon. Hopefully this will be okay.
He said it's still buffering.
And it's not like I'm doing anything different. I swear.
He's not mining. He promises.
Well, I'm mining on the CPU, but this is all. It's never been an issue. This has got to be like connection with me to YouTube, or YouTube's having an issue. All right, it looks like it might have just leveled off here, so hopefully, if it keeps up, I'll have you fire it up, McCall.
I got everything on standby.
Okay, cool. It looks like it's acting, it's behaving now. I swear.
Yeah, you're good.
Back to normal.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, knock on
Launch
wood.
on YouTube side, it seems alright.
Yeah.
So it seems okay. Yeah, it looks okay from what I'm looking
at.
at.
It's not my fault, I swear. I got a baller computer. I got a Threadripper 1900X with a 1080 Ti in here, so it's not hardware. I got 64 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah.
There's no reason that this is not working. I got gigabytes internet speed here, and it looked like it just for a second there. If it does it just for a second and catches, I'm okay.
What's up, Panda? Panda.
All right, so let's get back to it. So as you were saying, talking about yourself there, so how did you get involved with crypto mining?
Yeah, so let me go back to the 7990s. I was running Radeons from my garage, and I was mining.
Classic.
It was around like $200, 220, 240, around there is when I started. So I don't know how many years that was, like 4 or 5 years ago. And I was mining. What was I mining? I forgot what. Ethereum, I think, something like that. And so I started off with like one rig, and then added more cards, second rig, third rig, and then pretty much the garage was getting maxed out. And that's back then when I didn't have any 14 GPU motherboards.
Right.
They were just like GPU motherboards.
Right.
So I just had to keep adding another motherboard and more power supply, more cards, and eventually I had, I think, like 4 or 5 rigs running in the garage. And so yeah, I was doing that for like maybe a year, and I had a job basically. I was making apps for Microsoft, and I was making a lot of money there. So I converted all that money into mining, and then I just blew all my money on mining. So that's where I got all those GPUs from my previous videos. And then I got all the way up to like 250 GPUs, I think, somewhere around there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the height of all your GPUs? You had your highest number?
Yeah, the highest number is around 250. And
Wow.
And then Microsoft kind of blew up. so that whole thing was like going down. At the same time, basically the electric guy that was installing my outlets
Mm-hmm.
for my warehouse when I was doing the GPU mining, electric guy is the guy, like spreading out, telling people like, oh, you want to mine together, or mine, kind of share rent or something like that. I was looking around for partners. And then eventually I found a partner that wanted to, and this partner was loaded, right? So
Does he have a
Jackpot.
friend? Does he have a friend that he can send our way?
It's like that. It's like, does she have a sister?
Right, exactly. It's that kind of question. It really is.
yeah, at the beginning when I was like negotiating, I didn't know how much money he had. So I was like, well, this is going to be like, 50,000, 100,000 or more than that. And I was like afraid to throw those numbers out there because I was like, I don't know how much money he has. And now I'm like, dude, he can easily just throw $1 million down, so at that point I was like, oh, why was I was like being shy about how much money, you know what I mean?
I was thinking too small to be nice.
Right.
Yeah, I was
Well,
trying to be nice.
we had talked to somebody that was, in a bigger mining facility, and he's like, whatever you want, double it, and don't be afraid to ask. I was like, huh? He's like, it doesn't make sense. I understand. I know, but you just want to do it that way, and don't be afraid of the number that you really think you need. Don't. You just say it out, what it is that you're looking for, and people will be like, "That's reasonable." I've been very surprised when I was like, $1 million to start, and they're like, "You're not off from what you should be asking, really." I'm like, 25 would be the sweet spot. and some of these guys are like, it makes sense. It's like, oh God, it's like, man, I wish I would have known this like years ago. Going, this is how you talk business with business guys. Just don't be afraid. Don't think it's your pocketbook. I'm a poor guy. Man, $1,000 is the end of the world for me.
What's up, Unknown Crypto? How you doing, buddy? Ralph Cooper. Crypto Money Lifer. Red Panda says send friend our way.
Yeah.
Oh, Panda. Good old Panda.
Yeah.
We're so poor, right? Right? You're like, oh, I'm just a little fish.
Right.
I thought I was like doing okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Exactly.
Oh well.
But from their point of view, like why they wanted to invest is because they had a bunch of money sitting around from their business, and they get like 1%, 2%, 3%, right, if it sits in the bank. And so they're like, okay, you got to do something with the money.
Well, that's a scam in itself to think that you're getting 1 or 2% when the government's devaluing at over 8%. So
Exactly.
They're incentivized. Yeah, they're incentivized to try to put that into something that's gonna bring back immediately as soon as it's in the cash. It's like that's some of the thing that I like. It's hard to understand sometimes between rich people and poor people. Poor people are locked in on saving. Rich people spend it faster than they can get it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, if you're inflating the currency, the last thing you want to do is save it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to spend it. That's, and if someone's like, well, I don't know where to spend it. I don't know. I can't buy any assets. Buy Bitcoin.
Right.
That's what I would do. That's it. If you got savings, you got 20 bucks a week or something like that, you want to put away 100 bucks a week or something like that, and you can't afford real estate, and you can't afford, an ounce of gold or something like that, well, then just put in Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah. You need
DCA. Kind of the motto of our channel. DCA.
dollar
cost average. Just that's how I got started in Bitcoin. That's how Nem got started in Bitcoin. The guy that we were both listening to and kind of following as we were progressing in our adventures. That's what he instilled. Was just dollar cost average. Stick to a plan. If you deviate from the plan, life happens. What if you're putting 20 bucks in and you need the extra 20 bucks for something? Don't take away from yourself, to put into Bitcoin, but still 20 bucks every single week adds up. You buy across all levels of the playing field. I remember when I first got into crypto and it was 20 grand. I think when I first got into crypto, it was like 20 grand. I didn't buy then. I was researching, doing research. I think I got in about 12 is when I finally bought. I watched it drop 20 all the way down and still bought. And I was like, okay. And then I kept buying the entire way down, all the way down, 3K, all the way. Then I was like, that's when I finally stopped buying and then just went full mining. And I was like, all right, now's the time. And went full into mining, like full bore, more than I already was, and stopped purchasing Bitcoin and just DCA'd that dollar into more equipment. Switched that around and started accumulating more Bitcoin just through the mining aspect of it instead.
Yeah.
Just to diversify myself. But yeah, DCA all day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, once a week. At minimum.
Well, yeah.
If you can afford mining, you have electricity and stuff, and you're probably better off mining it. Like my partners were thinking about what if we just buy Bitcoin and just hold it? Let's say they have 100,000, they just bought 100,000 worth of Bitcoin and then just hold it. And it's like, yeah, you could do that, and let's say you wait. I mean, eventually you're going to pull the trigger to sell it. So what's their target? Double. Okay, so you wait until it doubles or triples and you sell it, but that's a one-time thing. It won't happen again unless it's going to keep going up. Then you sold, and then what? You're going to rebuy $1,000 less. Say it goes to 15K, you sell at 15 or 20, and then it goes back to 19. What are you going to buy in again? And then wait till 30 or 40 to sell it. So I was explaining to them that in that situation where it's better to just mine it if you have electricity, because that way it's not a one-time thing. You don't sell once. You buy once, not once, you buy the miners, you mine on them for years. And then once you do the initial investment of you buy the transformer, the gear, the whole entire operation, other than the miners, you're in, and all you got to do is just replace the miners, So it's like a constant cash flow rather than buying, waiting, tripling, selling, and then what? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they tell, a lot of the wealthier people say you need property. Your house is not a property, that's a liability. You need property that's going to generate money, not so
Your
much.
money needs to make you money.
Right. So you're holding on, they talk about trying to hit areas where, real estate's about, they do a lot of studies and stuff like that to figure out what area is about ready to pop industry. They're on the in group and stuff like that. And they go buy property, and then they're sitting there. They're only looking to earn 10% back off the every month, annually, or whatever. And so, but they rinse and repeat that 290 times, and they don't have to ever work for a job. Everything becomes an asset, not a liability. And so once you have all the mining stuff set up at a location, you have an asset now, not a liability. The only thing that's a liability at that point is the miners themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Nocturnal Miner says need to make money when you sleep. Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
You need to make money while you sleep. Mining does that very, very well. Make money while you sleep, while you eat, while you take a shower, while you pooping. making Bitcoin while you poop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Crypto My Lifer. He says I had joined Celsius. Awesome, dude. I told you it would work. I had seen people that were in New York being able to join Celsius. But yet they couldn't join like crypto.com and some of the other ones, which is kind of New York is like a weird state, man. So many rules and regulations, but yet everything.
Well, they've seen their
like,
fair share of scams out there, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny that like everything is out there too, like, but yet they're like the most regulated when it comes to people that live there.
Yeah.
Ew. You had that's a bummer. Oh no, it says under your link. I thought it said under my bank, and I was like, you had to use your bank account, and I was like, goodness gracious. Oh, I said this is under your link. I'm really far away from my screen. My eyes are dried out from being outside today. Yeah, the state, good old state. Yeah, I'm glad you got to join though, man. That's awesome. I mean, I actually was better run, Panda. I mean, I've been using Celsius and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. It's kind of an extra way to earn interest, but I mean, you do got a KYC, so you have to be aware of that.
Right.
But I mean, hodling some coins anyway. My initial test, it was for Ethereum Classic. That was the initial test, and then I mean, Ethereum Classic kind of did what it did this past like week, and it's just kind of like, I mean, they let me withdraw it, so that was cool.
So, are you still GPU mining at all? I mean, for you personally.
No, I'm not doing anything GPU at all. Nothing.
Dang, not even in like a personal computer at all.
No, absolutely nothing. I only have just one card. I have a 2080.
Nice.
Yeah, nothing at all. I mean, like I said earlier with my partner, we bought a whole bunch of S19 Pros, right? And then they plan on filling that up all the way, which is 250 of them.
Right.
With that additional coming in probably online towards like December, January, February until they get all of them, right? They buy some more in January and they buy some more in February, and then probably February is where it's going to be maxing out. I should be fine. I mean, I should be making pretty good because I basically get paid by 1%.
Yeah, hopefully in Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, I made it in Bitcoin.
Nice.
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 And the electricity I pay just cash.
Hopefully it's still like mined Bitcoin too. So it just comes from the mining wallet to your wallet, which is that nice little one hop.
Yes, that's what that's pretty much what I did. It mines to a mining wallet, so
right.
All the miners mine to we use Antpool. It pays out once a week, and then on Fridays is payday. Everyone gets paid.
Payday.
Yeah. On Friday, basically, the owner logs in to the Bitcoin, and then he writes off 1% of all the Bitcoins mined for that week, and it goes directly into my account, and then he takes the rest out to his own personal account, and then we do that every Friday.
Nice. That's a good way to do it. Do a payday Friday.
Right.
And that way, and the reason why we did it once a week is because we don't want to keep like too many Bitcoins on that wallet. You know, if you take it out like once a month. I mean, currently we mine 4 Bitcoins a week, right? And so if you don't take it out for a whole month, you have 16 Bitcoins. Somewhere around there. So yeah, I don't want to keep 170,000 on a computer in a container. Well, obviously the wallet is password protected, but still.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys, do you guys do trading for Bitcoin? You guys trade it?
I'm not a trader.
No, I don't trade at all.
Yeah, we have somebody in DCA who does, Jay, Variant 8. On Thursdays, he does trading, and he's big into that. So if you want to watch trading, you on Thursdays, or get in the Discord and hit up Jay, and he'll get you set up. That's what you're looking for.
He does probably like day trading. Is that what he does?
There's a little bit of everything. He's very diverse in that. Yeah.
He tries not to do the day trading. He tries to trade on the market moves.
Okay. Because I was thinking like I don't really do trading, but because of the happening, I put a lawn in, you know. And so I was just wondering if you guys did that. You guys know the website Deribit?
I haven't used it a bit now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on that website, basically, I think it's banned in my state because they don't hand over information. But I
Yeah,
use
it's banned in
use
mine too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I trade down
Good
there.
old
So
VPN.
I put a it does 100x leveraging on that website, but obviously I don't do that much. But still, it's pretty good. Yeah. Just wondering if you want
I mean,
to
to sit there and go there and, I look at that as just gambling. So, I mean, you're just rolling the dice. If you hit big, cool. If you don't, hopefully use a small little percentage of your earnings, and that's all you're playing with,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you'll learn. You'll learn how to do it real quick when you lose a lot. You're like, yeah, don't do that.
That's bad. I lost Bitcoin doing that. Don't do that. Not Your Normal Miner says it was sick watching the transition from the GPU to ASIC from the garage to the container. Yeah, it was pretty great watching that Not Your Normal Miner. That's for sure.
Durable's like, who's the new guy? This is crypto mining. Yo.
Yeah. Here is not his YouTube channel. There you go. And then Wapaka says, do you keep all of your Bitcoin or do you convert some of it into other cryptos? Like, do you diversify or do you keep your paycheck in just Bitcoin?
Is that to me?
Yeah, Wapaka.
Where do I sell the Bitcoins? Well, I don't, get that much Bitcoin, right? So.
Well, I mean, Wapaka's just kind of wondering if you diversify.
I threw some on Deribit. I threw some on Deribit, and then I margined it. So basically, I put in an order that I won't get liquidated unless Bitcoin goes less than 8,000.
Okay.
And the chance of that is very small.
So do you convert into any other crypto? Like, do you convert it to hold anything?
No,
to hold a specific thing. So you're just going for BTC.
Yeah, I just go BTC. I used to just have Ethereum. I used to have Zcash, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Gold. I had all of those, and then what happened was, it might make some of the GPU miners mad, but what happened was, sometimes the GPU coins, they go up a pretty good amount. Might go up 20-30%, and then it's just like a bubble, and it blows up, goes back down, stays down. And I had Raven coin. I just waited forever on those coins, and I waited and waited and waited, and and tried to sell it at another top, and it just never came. For the past maybe year and a half, I just didn't see them doing anything.
You just slowly dump them.
Yeah, I changed my game plan. I was like, all right, these coins ain't doing nothing. And if they're going to do something, it's only because Bitcoin does something.
Well, price-wise, yes. I totally agree with that. It's like you almost got to pick projects that are doing more onto the project coding-wise, other than doing, we had a grammatical error here. We wanted to change the font over here, like doing
changes.
Yeah, like doing significant changes that actually helps the protocol out. I mean, it's like I mine and I transfer pretty much everything into Bitcoin, and then once I have it into Bitcoin, then I start buying all the other rigs, and I'll start buying this, that, and the other, because at the end of the day, it's money.
Right.
It's like I don't. It's like people might get mad at me because I don't hodl it. It's like I spend it almost as quick. It's like I got bills. I've got I want to get the new latest
Bitcoin.
It's like I want Bitcoin, but that's like the best way to have money, and I'm like sitting here just exchanging out that way.
That's the easiest way to exchange on most platforms.
Mm-hmm.
you want to go buy some hardware on Newegg, you got to have Bitcoin. So it's kind of the way that goes. They don't really take
Yeah.
a whole
You can
lot
also,
else.
another thing you can do is maybe you can try to arbitrage it, right? If you mine Bitcoin and then if one of the altcoins went down a lot, well then use your Bitcoin to buy that. And then once that altcoin goes up a lot, then use that altcoin to buy Bitcoin. So you can kind of flip it around, but that's just assuming that the percentage is not going against you, you know? So
Yeah.
like Ethereum would be a good example. Like if for some reason Ethereum falls down to like $150 and Bitcoin is still at 12K or, you know, 11K, then maybe it'd be a good idea to kind of buy some Ethereum.
Or you just
Yeah.
play the arbitrage against exchanges from one to another. Oh, this area
Yeah.
just devalued their dollar, everything shot up, so you try to get onto that exchange to arbitrage that one exchange against the rest of the world.
You know what? You know, sometimes you hear in the news, like there's like a country out there that has that their Bitcoin is like more expensive. Why,
It's
why don't
on
we
one
just-
exchange, and usually in those regions. And as soon as it pumps, the exchange usually locks up.
Okay.
Like how Coinbase, whenever Bitcoin dumps, they all of a sudden nobody can access their accounts
Or when
until it
it-
recovers.
Or when it pumps, you can't get into your account to even sell it
Yeah.
if you have some. I've seen
Oh.
that happen so many times.
It's like I'll sit there and be like, oh, it dumped hard. Let me go buy some. What do you mean my account's inactive? What do you mean I can't buy anything? What? Next exchange, you suck.
To answer your question, Gerbil says ETC still under attack. Nope. I'm
No.
looking at their hash rate right now, and the highest pool is Ethermine with 28% of the
And-
known
and the-
hash
the
rate. And they're
problem
only
is
sitting,
they
they're only
haven't
sitting
fixed
at 4.6 teraatoms. They ain't sitting at a lot.
No.
Um,
I can.
But, I
probably,
mean, everything is still
if I were
locked
to
up
drop
anyway,
If I
so-
were to drop everything I had on there, you would probably see me on the network coming on.
if they could bounce out of this, this would be a hell of a time to solo mine. But I am not telling you what to do. Like, that is not financial mining advice whatsoever.
No.
Because I don't know what Ethereum platforms are gonna do,
Right.
like at all. Like, I don't know if they're gonna just not
This is-
fix the problem.
This is the third
They're
time
gonna
they've
fork,
had this
If
problem.
they're not gonna fork. Yeah, I mean, it's been more than 3 times. It's been 3 times this year.
Right.
Are they
Uh,
planning on going back in time?
there was 2 reorgs this week, and they've been 51% attacked twice, and there's been a double spin attack twice this week.
Did they go back? Did they go back in the chain?
It was already reorged.
Okay, then why did they separate from Ethereum?
They separated.
They
from
separated
Ethereum.
years ago.
Ethereum is
That was years
separated. No,
ago.
Ethereum separated from ETC. ETC is the
Yeah.
main chain. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
ET,
yeah.
It's
So-
the original.
It's only because ETH reorged to give people back their money on the DAI or the DAO
Yeah.
because the DAO wrote bad code. It had nothing to do with Ethereum.
That'd be awesome.
Ethereum was just like, oh, we'll give you a get out of jail free card. And the devs were like, why are we rolling back if our code was not the issue, it was them. So they basically went and did, an exchange bailout almost at that point.
Yeah.
Now your normal miner
Yeah.
says he's seeing a proposal to switch to random X. There was a proposal thrown out today for random X. That'd be interesting.
I'd
would be
throw hash power at
interest-
that.
I'd be interested to see how that runs. I mean, Ethereum Classic has smart contracts on it. If I'm not mistaken, there are smart contracts and dApps built on Ethereum Classic. So how would that work on Random X?
It's
I
just
mean,
a
it'd be
it's just a
kinda cool.
security. It's just a security layer. That's all it is.
Right.
And
I
they're
mean,
not
it'd be
using.
very interesting to
They're
see how
not.
that played out.
and just because you're using their mining algorithm, their mining consensus algorithm, doesn't mean that you have to build it with all that privacy provisions into it.
I guess.
Well, what I was gonna say about the Ethereum Classic, so Ethereum Classic is the original mainnet of Ethereum, right? Ethereum separated because they wanted to go back in time, bail themselves out, right? Or bail out the chain, kind of. Okay, but if Ethereum Classic now did the same thing, so if they were standing up for, having principles and be like, oh, we're not gonna change, we're just gonna keep going. You lost your money, too bad, right? Well, now that they have a 51% attack, double spend, all that stuff, they're doing the same thing. So
Only if they roll it back.
Yeah.
well, are they rolling it back? I thought they did.
No.
Not yet?
Nope.
If they do, they're the biggest hypocrites ever.
Yeah, pretty much. If they do that, because they separated going code's law, it wasn't our code that broke the law.
Well, see, that's why OpenGeth network dropped their support. It's because on their Phoenix update, they claimed code that they used to claim code as law, and they put forward, they didn't do the ethical choice. Is literally what the OpenGeth developer said. He says they didn't make the right choice, and he goes, so therefore we're not going to support them, and they dropped support. So that's where it all kind of like started the catalyst in, is because like 70% of the nodes dropped offline because OpenGeth network dropped their support to hold 70% of their nodes. I mean, granted, they should have had 70% in one spot anyway. They have their own like network nodes, like they should have been using them, not using Ethereum's nodes. My personal opinion. No, you cannot buy or sell any UTC yet. It's been like 3 days now. You can't do nothing
Nice.
that I've been able to see, and I've seen a lot of exchanges have taken it off. Maybe not like an official delisting, but it's definitely not on the list of things to deposit or withdraw, or even on the market. On multiple exchanges that I had seen, that I know that they were on for certain.
Well,
Yep.
what's the point of them anyway? Like, if most of the brains and the money went with the Italics at Ethereum, what's the point of Classic?
They wanted to keep the main chain, but
Yeah.
I mean, they never. I like Ethereum Classic. They're a nice mineable coin for like GPU miners to get away from the ASICs.
Okay.
Granted, ASICs can still come over to Ethereum Classic, but they make more money on Ethereum, so people have left them over there. But as things have been kind of changing, it's like Ethereum Classic. What have they really been doing anyway? After all this time, what have they really been doing? Not a whole lot. If you go check their GitHub, they're, not a whole lot of actual like physical work. It's usually just fixing little things here and there. I don't know. I've always liked Ethereum Classic, but I mean, now that all this is kind of like happening, is kind of giving me like a 2-year revisit back down in, and I'm like, oh, what have they really been doing other than being a good supplement mineable coin for Ethash, and anything that's been like Ethash dual mineable for GPU. Yeah. Dang.
But what's the future of it?
8K confirmations. That's ridiculous. So you can buy or sell on some exchanges, but 8K confirmations.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, dude. That's days. At least a day or two for 8,000 confirmations.
Right, I thought it was bad whenever they implemented 800.
Jeez. And with like 8K confirmations and less people on the network, that means less blocks are going to be mined. So that'll take even longer. No one's on the network to mine blocks. I mean,
Yeah.
how are confirmations going to get made? Who's going to verify transactions?
No kidding.
Just saying. Sucks. What's up, Schnick Diesel? Gundy says, does Mountain Gox mofos still have any BTC to dump? Because that made a drop a crap ton before. I'm saying crap ton, but I'm marking you down for saying yes.
Oh yeah, Mount Gox can still tank the market. There's other whales out there that can still tank the market.
Plenty of other whales. There's still plenty of OG miners that could tank the market. You know what I mean? Like, Satoshi could tank the market.
Right.
You know,
the Nix Ops could probably tank the market. If you guys didn't check out my interview on crypto and hot rods, you know, it's like even he sat there and he's like, man, if I want to prove a point, I tank the market on people. I'm like, wow.
When I was listening to that, I was like, oh. Wow.
But he mined right alongside Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, if you're an OG miner, you have a crap ton of Bitcoin.
Right.
I was thinking about all of them so long ago, and there's hardly any competition. It wasn't even that long ago, really. I mean, crypto mining, you were mining like, what, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
How much competition did you have 5 years ago?
Not much.
I mean, it was still kind of what you thought was a lot, maybe. But, I mean, relative to now.
Just imagine what's going to happen if Bitcoin goes up, you know.
Another 5 more years, imagine. Or what kind of conversation will we be having in 5 more years?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Like, this is going to be crazy. I can't wait to have this conversation in 5 years and be like,
you remember when you could mine on CPU, bro? It's like,
remember we were mining on ASICs? What's an ASIC?
We're on supercomputers.
Everybody's mining on an ASIC board full of ARM chips or something. You know what I mean? Like something beyond an actual ASIC.
ASIC.
There's any technology like that past ASIC.
I mean,
like on ASIC,
FPGA would be above an ASIC, in my opinion.
It's more like in between
technology-wise.
It depends on how you're looking at it. I mean, you get a developer board that's making all the ASICs, but it can't really mine like an ASIC because you can't cool it down effectively.
Mining with brainwaves.
But it's like. So, like a mineable FPGA is more like the step between a GPU and an ASIC, because if you look at hash rates, you can even see it on Bitcoin. That you can tell right when the FPGAs started hitting onto Bitcoin right before the ASICs came out. So there was like a good. It's hard to tell from when you're looking at it on the charts, but it looks like either 6 to 9 months of FPGAs, and then you just see the hash rate just take off. And that would be like when a lot of the, like the S1s and the S4s started coming out. And that, it's like that. You can just tell right when, and you can see that in every network. FPGAs, whoop, and then ASICs. Very few coins you'll just see GPU, ASICs, and it just takes an elevator straight up.
Alpaca says, was mining BTC with an HD for 4850 back in 2011. He said, good days.
Yeah.
Same, man. Good days. I mean, you can still mine, Bitcoin with GPUs and CPUs and ARM processors and cell phones. It's all relatively still doable. Just not profitable.
It's not competitive, is what it is.
No, not at all.
You're bringing a Yugo to a 10,000 horsepower dragster.
Right.
Going, I got you for 100.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how things are going to pan out, especially for Ethereum Classic. I want to see what's going to happen.
I hope it doesn't die off at least before I get what little coin I got out of it.
Don't die yet. Let me sell everything.
Right.
Don't Bitcoin private me.
Right. I don't want to be Bitcoin privated.
Crypto Mining Life says, you go, LOL. What a lemon. He says, hey, I love you.
You guys do hard drive mining? I think there was
I have not done burst mining.
No.
I've helped someone set it up, but I have not done it.
I was interested in that type of stuff maybe like a year ago, but then after putting in all the calculations.
Oh yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. The Nick's Ops, the guy that I did the interview with, he is an OG burst miner. He actually helped write some of the code for burst mining. And so, I mean, he's a big proponent of it, but yeah, you have to have, like, basically, if you've got a server room already, sure, and you're not using any of it really, go ahead, burst mine. This way, you've already got the capital already allocated into the hardware. You might as well use it. But to like, just go out and I'm going to burst mine, yeah, you're just doing it for testing purposes.
A hobby.
Yeah.
Wapaka says it's better to mine altcoins with CPU or GPU than instantly sell to BTC or ETH. Correct.
Yep.
100%.
Poop coins for bitcoins.
Unknown Crypto says I have an 88 GVX. He said it's my fourth car.
Nice.
Nice, dude.
I tend to drive my cars into the ground. So for the first time, I've got an 04 Monte Carlo SS. It's the Dale Earnhardt edition. So I'm trying to like keep this one from falling apart. But Illinois is killing the car.
Good old Terminator.
Oh yeah.
May you rest in peace, sir.
Right, the Intimidator. So yeah, I'm trying to keep this thing going as best as I can. I got to do a bunch of repairs on it.
Oh, black and red.
No, black and white.
Ooh, nice.
It's all black with the white stripings on it.
Nice. I think it was the year after that was the black and red one was the go-to color scheme.
Yeah, mine was the first year that they put the supercharger back onto it.
Right. It's still the older before they redid the body style.
Yes. Oh yeah. The good car. But yep.
I can't.
It still blows my mind that like
Hey,
you
Grits,
got
I'm gonna
all
tell you that picture you just sent me looks fucking fantastic. I think it looks great. It looks like really great. I really like that. You did that's a great job, dude. Fantastic. You get a gold sticker. If you're still here in the live stream. I hope you are. Nice. 2017 Golf R. That's nice.
Nice. So
Alright, oh man. VW R32. Dang.
I'll take my 82 Z28. Anytime. But yeah,
Super sensual.
it still blows my mind that you don't on your shipping containers that you don't need your fans on there. That's still like, I'm like going, okay, how do I seal everything up now?
Oh, nice. Have fun, Crypto Mining Lifer.
And I'm
Hope you
like
catch a lot of
going,
fish.
I can probably redesign my mining room too with the same principle. Even with GPUs.
Yeah. If it gets too hot, you can always open the door. Pretty much. And those fans, I mean, if I don't run any of them, they're saving like, if they're at 50% capacity, power limit on them, you're saving like 5,000 watts. Because they use about 2,500 watts each. Well,
That's
a blast is going to be 10,000 watts.
a couple extra ASICs right there, man.
Yeah. Just keep them on. And that's right now. That's like right now at, it's 80, 70. Today it was like 75, 80. You know, that's like right now. It's doing that at that temperature.
Do you get above 100?
Maybe like 5 times a year or something like that.
How does the box react while it's at that over 100 degrees? Because I know with the S17s and the S19s, their temperature upper end limit is they're a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah.
Their sensors start going off. Because like the S9s were good to 105.
Yeah. I mean, I have some S17s that ran at 95. They ran just fine. I think they turned themselves off at like 99, 101, something like that. They turned themselves off.
Right, but like them being able to handle like let's say 110 degree day.
Yeah.
I mean, is that whenever you're really turning on your your exhaust fans, or is just opening up the door to let more air rush in good enough?
Yeah, just open the door. I don't turn them on ever.
Huh.
But that's only because the bug net is on there. Without the bug net, basically it's just all comes down to airflow. Doesn't even really matter what the temperature is outside. That's for the container. Just airflow. Because I used to think that temperature makes a big difference, and then you got to run these exhaust fans to help suck out all the hot air. No, you don't have to run anything. Just goes out.
You got to get the hot air out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got to get it off.
What's up, Batman?
Fast enough. And I don't really care if it goes out immediately. Actually, I don't want it to go out immediately, especially here. Like, it's like 85, on a regular day. And then at nighttime, it's 55 with 90% humidity. So I don't want to go there at nighttime and then start turning down, like covering the louvers, at nighttime, because it's 55 outside and the humidity is 90%. I want to, not change it every single day, so I have to think of a way to make it work both ways, at daytime, at nighttime. And so yeah, BugNet fixed it all up. Without that bug, then I have to do stupid stuff.
Interesting. It still blows my mind. Gotta love it. Got to love it. Does anybody else have any questions out there? Like, anybody? Love some great questions, guys. So we are approaching our hour.
All right. Anybody got any questions for our man here?
As
You
the
got
stream starts lagging.
Somebody's like sitting there, and you got somebody that's gone from GPU all the way to
Jeez.
starting to scale out.
How's the stream looking on your side, Nam? Playback's looking terrible right now.
It like bounces here and there, but we're at the end, so it is.
I was
what
like,
it is.
I just kind of looked and I like watched it. It was like, bah, bah. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. For whatever reason, YouTube just doesn't like me today.
You're not talking
No.
good things about the dollar,
I know. Censor them. These people know.
They're aware.
They're supposed to be eating up their 5 or 8 or whatever percent inflation rate, and they're not. They don't want to take it. They
Right.
actually want to make money. That's not allowed, right? You gotta
Right.
lose-
These
The rent's
people
supposed
are
to go
not
up
enough
every year
debt.
forever.
You're supposed to be into debt up to your eyeballs.
They're making their own money, and gaining interest off it too, off of these other platforms. We can't have that.
They're
They're paying 8% interest. We can't even give them one.
Right? It's like when you get these like people that like, oh yeah, we'll get you a job working for an insurance company because you deserve that $500,000 house, that Rolex and BMW. Shh, don't tell them that you're going to be in debt up to their eyeballs. You deserve this, and forever you will work for me. Your soul is mine.
Yeah, basically. The dream is going into debt.
Right,
That's the
20
dream
years
nowadays.
later, you hate yourself, and you're like, this is not where I wanted to be.
Another way of looking at it about debt is if you make enough Bitcoin, right? You have a huge mining farm, you keep all your Bitcoins. If you are in debt in dollars, but you make money in Bitcoin, you can actually make a lot of money that way, because you're in debt in dollars, and Bitcoin goes up. Dollar is not going to go up It's only going to go down. Right? You look at the dollar chart from like 1910 or whatever it is. It's always just goes straight down to the gutter, right? And lost like what 98% or 99% of its purchasing power. So that means if you keep your debt in dollars, you're fine, pretty much. I mean, if you make enough Bitcoin, right? You know, it's like imagine you have a debt, you bought a house for 200,000, right? In dollars, and then Bitcoin doubles. Well, technically your house just went, you know, became a lot cheaper for you because your income just doubled if you're mining it.
Right.
That's why like a lot of those millionaires and stuff that do trading and property sales, all that stuff, they try to get as much debt as they can. As much as they can, because it's just free money. They go to the bank, especially they go to the Federal Reserve, they get free money all the time. Like you know the Robert Kiyosaki guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So same thing. It's the rich get into debt on purpose.
Yeah, but there's good debt and bad debt.
Yeah, they get asset debt.
Right. It's like people load up, like everybody's tells you to, buy a house because that'll give you equity. It's like, no, it's like that's not equity because it's not earning you any money. You have to do maintenance on it. So, and the last time I checked, putting a roof over your head costs money. So that's a liability. Your car is a liability. If you've got a garage full of old school cars that you don't put any mileage on, those could be considered an asset because over time those have a bigger value, chance of going up. But that's like sitting there and owning gold.
Yeah.
You're just locking in the value on your dollar onto something that will hold its money. That's rare.
Yeah, you're just preserving purchasing power, but
Right.
you're not actually increasing the
Right.
amount of money you have.
Right.
That's you saw gold is at 2000 now, 2030,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Right, and people
It's like-
don't realize that that the gold value didn't really rise. It didn't.
Yeah.
Our dollar dropped.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why you get Bitcoin, because Bitcoin actually goes up.
But is it
Not-
really going up though, or is it that you're seeing another way to measure the depreciation of the dollar?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I think
Yeah,
in
like
if one hand you get a lot of people coming in because it's a newer asset. I mean, we're still early. Even after 11 years, we're still early. So it's like you're looking at an asset that you have retail buyers coming in, so you got the increase on there, but also you have the decrease on the dollar, and so your $1 to be able to purchase is going to be different, and we're going to start seeing it hike up even faster, I think, and I don't think that we're really seeing this huge market uptick. I just think we're seeing it. We're in the beginning of watching the dollar duff.
yeah. Well, I mean, maybe like if you take, say, 5%, so let's say if the dollar is going down on average 3%, 5%, or whatever, your purchasing power is going down on average 3%, 5% a year. Okay, that means that Bitcoin has to go up 3 or 5%, right,
Correct.
every single year for you to maintain your purchasing power. If it goes up any more than that, you're making money.
Right.
So that means, so if you look at Bitcoin, like what happened, you take the average of Bitcoin, what happened in the past 5 years? How much did the Bitcoin increase? Well, it increased a hell of a lot more than 5% times 5 years if you just held on to dollars, or not dollars. I mean, like if you try to
Right.
save up your purchasing power.
Right.
So
Right.
Bitcoin makes you a lot of money, a lot. And right now it's at like 11.7.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing. That's nothing. Like people, if you remember back in the old days, right, of Bitcoin, remember when people were like, "Oh my goodness, Bitcoin hit 1,000. Oh, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna crash." Or when Bitcoin hit $100 or $300, and people were going insane because it used to be a cent. People are like, "Oh, this is just crazy. I gotta sell out now. I never thought it would happen." I think it's the same thing right now, where you tell someone, "Yeah, Bitcoin's going to 100,000," and people are like, "No, you crazy, man. It'll never go there. Just like it'll never go to 1,000 or it'll never go to 100." Oh yeah, it will.
It will, and you're gonna see gold go on that same tear.
Yeah, yeah. I think gold is just going to be preserving your purchasing power. It'll have probably like some extra income, I guess you'll get from a lot of countries probably going out there and purchasing it, like, you know, national banks and things like that as a reserve asset for their country, for their currency actually. So, you know, like gold would probably go to 5-10,000, and that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you were to take away the idea that you have all these other countries buying up gold, I still think that gold will still continue to go up because every currency out there is being debased so badly right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and we're not seeing that movement in the market, and that's why they keep pumping more liquidity in, because they're trying to get people to open the floodgates up and start pouring market back into the economy. But the problem is that they've printed so much that it's going to explode whenever the dams open up. It's going to be really bad on the other side, I think. And I think even gold might take a pretty good tear. I mean, how high? I have no idea, though. But yeah. I definitely think even with no country buying gold, it's as soon as people start spending that currency, we're gonna see it.
Yeah.
I agree. So last question before we go here, Not Your Own Miner says, what was your biggest surprise about setting up the container? So the biggest surprise.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Surprise. Oh.
It's a good question, Not Your Own Miner.
Whether it's good or bad. Or we'll pick one in each camp. You know, what was like a surprise after you set everything up that you were like, oh my god, I overlooked this.
Yeah. Well, there was one pretty big negative. It was kind of my partner / me, but it's mostly my partner, where we were setting up the panels. You know, 2 panels. Basically, they put all the panels in one section, and because of that, there wasn't a louver directly in front of it, in front of the miners, and so the louvers weren't evenly spaced out. And so now we have fans. I had to put fans because there's no airflow in that section of the container. So one of the surprises was that you have to have really perfect airflow for the container. You know, you have to have it like nice and perfect, because there's going to be like sections in the container where you're going to have like circulation, and the air is kind of circulating up in the corner somewhere, something like that, and so you have to make sure that you have everything perfect, that all your rows are perfectly set up, that your louvers are like the same height, the same width, the same, you know, they all have the same filter type, you know, because you don't want to have one section getting too much air, one section not getting enough. Basically, it has to be perfectly set up, or you're gonna have to be buying fans and then, you know, messing around with little tiny things, just wasting time, basically. That's one of the bad things that happened. One of the good things is, so when we set everything up, there's 239 miners in there, and you have to log into each one, right? So you have to type in the IP address to take a look at it. And I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but I was like, wait a minute. I started researching how their API works. Right, they're using like a JSON on their miners, and I was like, why don't they just access, like, just read the data off of each miner, and then just write a program for it? So that's what I did, and now I just have a program that I just click refresh, and it goes into the network, finds every single miner, gives me all of their details, and shows it all on a list. Then I can just take the list and sort it by speed, by temperature, hottest temperature, lowest temperature, fastest speed, lowest speed, newest firmware, date, how long it's been active, when did it turn off. Everything is on that program. And so I was thinking, all right, 239 miners, here we go, gotta log into each one. You know, I made like a Chrome list, like, what are they, bookmarks, you know, you open up all of them at once, you're like, oh crap, this is gonna be a lot of work, you know. But after getting this program I was like, click refresh, show me everything right now, you know, and it shows me everything. So it's awesome. That's one of the surprises, because I didn't think of that before, and then a couple months ago I got that idea, and I just made that app and works great. So saves a
You're
lot of time.
using what was it, Grafanda?
Who?
It's like Grafanda. That's what the name of it is.
No, I haven't heard of it.
See if I can pull it up. Grafana. It's a Grafana. They use a lot of like APIs to call stuff. Just to look at, and they pull data. So you live on some time or something, but yeah, same thing basically, probably what you just did, except for they have a
Yeah, they write their own program. Is that what they do?
yeah. It's just, and it calls for APIs that you set up. So like for temperature or data, these reflect servers and stuff like that, so they can monitor a whole server of data from one spot. Like the whole load, what's pulling, everything. It's a great little tool. But you made your own, so it's not gonna cost you anything.
Right.
Grafana cost you. It's a cost for that.
It's free. Yeah, I don't have to pay like any fees or monthly fees or whatever.
Right on. What's up, Serpent?
You use one of those ASIC firmwares, Hive OS, right? You use Hive OS. You have like a 2.5% fee.
Right.
Yeah, okay. What do I get out of it? Other than custom firmware that just runs at no better efficiency. Oh, actually, for all the, everyone that's listening right now, like I tried all of those different ASIC firmwares from Hive OS, from ASIC.2TO, right? From that other third one. There's 3 of them, right? And I tried all 3 of them on the ASICs on like 5 different miners, because I was trying to find the most efficient firmware. Because I was like, hey, if there's a more efficient firmware that gives me 5 extra points on top of the efficiency, so instead of 29 or 39, it was actually 39, I get like 34 or 32 efficiency per terahash, right? Watts per terahash. If I could get that, then maybe it's worth it to get a custom firmware. And I did tests on all of those firmware, and they all suck because they all just do the same exact efficiency. They don't get better than 39. Even if you downclock them, you have to downclock them a lot to make them more efficient.
Yeah, yeah.
73
yeah,
terahash.
the one that I like is Brains. That one's the best one that I've seen out there. And
Yeah.
it's almost like all the other ones try to mimic Brains.
Okay. I haven't tried Brains though.
Yeah, that's the one that I have on my S9. And I haven't done like a full it's like, and I'm an overclocker, so I'll sit there and just push it, pull it back, see what wattage gets what, but I've never like seen which way was the most efficient at the end of the day. I never really cared. I just decided I was like gonna push the envelope until the temperature was at that one point where it was like it would just didn't like it. It would just start thermal throttling or shutting down on me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you have extra power, we don't have extra power. So for us, it's we have limited power, right? So we're already maxed out. So I was like, hey, if I could, lower the efficiency, get like 300 watt savings out of each miner, then that's 300 times 239. I could buy more miners, just put them in there and run them more efficiently, and then lower myself from 39 watts a terahash to maybe 34 watts a terahash or something like that. But when you do that, your terahashes fall a lot. So
Oh
it's
my
not
God,
worth it
yeah.
in a calculator. So that's why I was like, this is worthless. I even wrote to these people. I was like, come on, hook me up. I got 239 miners. I'll put on all of them. Just make it run more efficient. Make it run at my default speed, 73 terahashes. Make it run at that speed. Just give me 5 points off of the efficiency, and they couldn't do it. So, even after all their updates, firmware updates, I constantly contact them on Telegram, trying to get them to hook me up, and they got nothing. So you have to just run, stock Bitmain firmware.
Yep.
Yeah, it sucks. I wish.
Miner. You gotta love it. Well, if anybody else has any questions, like I said, guys, now's your time before we roll out of here for the evening. I'll give you all like 30 seconds to ask a question.
Right, since there's at least a 20-second delay.
Good old YouTube.
It's like I almost feel like I should be doing something entertaining to for these people, or waiting, you know.
Well, guess nothing, guys.
Right. The chat's not even moving on this.
Thanks, guys. There's 13 of you here. Smash the like button.
Right.
Hit the bell notification.
Oh yeah.
Hit the subscribe button.
You're buying Bitcoin, no? Busy.
Right.
Buy Bitcoin.
Right.
Buy it at cost and hodl it.
Yo.
Or sell it at highs and buy mining.
Right.
That tends to be the life of a miner.
Buy Bitcoin. Buy cryptos with a.
If y'all go to that link takes you straight to Crypto Mining's channel, guys. So go over there and visit it and watch the awesome basic journey he's on right now with this container. If y'all are curious what we've been talking about this tonight, you can go over there and give it a peek-sees for yourself sees.
Right.
My mouse did that.
It's like, all right then. And with that, guys, we'll definitely catch you on the next one, guys. Yo.
Later, everybody.
All right. Thanks for having me over, guys.
Oh yeah. Thank you for being here, my man.
Yeah, thanks for coming out and having a good old time.
For sure. We'll have to do this again. Most certainly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Later, guys.
Later.
Thanks.